Great new day to all my self-care family and friends. Welcome to the Self-Care Club's Room to Breathe. For those of you who are new here in this space, my name is Shantae, better known as Life Coach 614 here on social media, and I am a Master Certified Self-Care and Boundaries Life Coach. Our mission here at the Self-Care Club is to provide a supportive space for individuals to embrace their healing journeys. We aim to empower our members to turn their struggles into strengths through motivational content, community support, and one-on-one personalized coaching sessions. Our goal is to inspire a culture of self-care and well-being, guiding our community towards a happier, more balanced life. So whether you're tuning in to us on the radio today or you've joined us in our live stream, we are all delighted to have you here with us. And if you happen to catch this on the replay, be sure to drop a comment telling us where you're from. Now, before we dive in, let's go over some basics and set our boundaries. With the support of our admins and moderators in the chat, our goal is to maintain a peaceful and safe space for sharing, caring, and embracing our individual paths to self-care. Your engagement in the conversation, tapping the screen, and sharing the live stream helps us immensely. And remember, every gift and membership contribution during the live stream directly supports the Self-Care Club LLC, creating a wave of positive change. Your generosity drives our mission forward. If you are seeking any additional information about the Self-Care Club, I encourage you to head over to our website at selfcareclub.org. Now, let's commit to making this community a beacon of positivity and support for everyone. If you are ready to embark on today's new self-care adventure, flood the chat with some green hearts for me. Thank you, Rose. I see you. Welcome in, Mr. T. Jot Empress. I see you. I see you. Thank you, Rose. All right, so we are currently in a Revive in 45-day challenge, which is our transformative journey spanning over the next 45 days throughout July and August. It is designed to empower participants in their healing journeys. The challenge aims to help individuals turn their struggles into strengths, fostering personal growth and resilience. Through daily activities and practices, the goal is for participants to deepen their self-awareness and develop the tools needed to overcome obstacles and begin to thrive. Our focus is on nurturing and empowering a resilient mindset, ensuring that each and every one of us emerges from this challenge stronger and more capable of handling life's challenges. We are currently on day 6, and our quote of the day is, set the bar and don't lower that shit. Right? Hey VK, I see you. Thank you so much, big dog. Our quote for today: set the bar and don't ever lower that shit. We all have dreams, goals, and standards, right? Guess what? It is time for us to set those standards sky high and refuse to compromise. Why? Right? You want to know why. Why should I set the bar high? Why shouldn't I compromise? Right? It's because you deserve the best. Always. You deserve the best. So no more of us lowering our standards. No more of us shrinking ourselves down to, or dissecting ourselves into smaller bite-sized pieces to be easier to digest. Right? We tear ourselves apart, we break ourselves down, so that way it's easier for someone else to digest, someone else to swallow, right? But now we've shrunk ourselves down so much that we don't even recognize who we are anymore. So it is time for us to reevaluate and begin to set our bar higher, have higher expectations, right? So our first affirmation of today: I am worthy of greatness. I am worthy of greatness. I am worthy of greatness. And yeah, you heard me. I want you guys to type that. I am worthy of greatness. Because each and every one of you are. You are worthy. And so never let anyone tell you otherwise. And so when we set the bar high, we're telling the world, I know my worth. Right? When we set the bar high, we're letting other people know I value myself. I know how precious I am. I know how worthy and deserving I am. And trust me, if you set the bar high and you start letting people know that you know your worth and you know that you are valuable, guess what? The world is going to start to see it too. But it starts with you first believing that you are worthy. And so how do we go about that? How do we set this bar, and how do we, truly begin to know our worth, right? How do we truly begin to see ourselves for who we are? Our first tip: define your standards. See, if you're going to set the bar and you're going to tell, you're going to scream it from the highest mountaintop that I am worthy, right? We've got to define what our standards are, right? Because my standards and your standards may not be the same. And so in order for me to understand what it is that you value and hold near and dear, you're going to need to be able to define your standards. So our first tip of the day: define your standards. Sit down, grab a pen, grab some paper, and write down what your high standards look like. You need to write down, what kind of people do you want around you? Right? For me, I am all about positivity. I choose to spread positivity on purpose. Every single thing I do has to be positive with a point. Positivity with purpose, right? So I do not want to be around negative people. I do not want to associate with energy vampires. I do not identify myself to be such. Therefore, I do not entertain such, right? So I know what kind of people I want to be around. I want to be around people that feel like sunshine. I want to be around positive people who have positive things to say. Not just to, in an enabling kind of way. I want to be around people who feed my soul. Dopamine in the room. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. I want to be around people like dopamine, who release positive energy from me, right? I need to pull up with serotonin. You know what I mean? And so I want to be around people who pour into me and who give back to me, right? I don't want to be around takers. So I know that my standards are not to associate with nor identify as a negative person. So then you also need to think about, what kind of work do you wish to produce? What do you want to be known for? Right? When I became a life coach, I wanted to be known as a person who spread positivity in people's lives. So when I'm dead and gone and someone brings up my name, I want somebody to say, you know what, I remember her. I remember waking up with her in the mornings and she just started my day off so positive. Thank you, Lady Blue. Right? So you have to think about, what kind of work do you wish to produce? Well, I am building something, like I want to be able to create a legacy. When I'm dead and gone, I want people to still have access to my positive YouTube videos, right? I want people to have positive thoughts and positive memories. I want my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren and my great-great-grandchildren to be like, look, my grandma was a life coach. She spread positivity on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to be able to go back and reflect on those good things. So I know what kind of work I want to produce. I understand what's passionate to me. I'm obedient. When I was in my dark spaces, I prayed to get out of that. And I promised to do whatever it took. And so the universe revealed to me, okay, you know what? We're going to get you up out of this dark space because this was never for you. But you had to go through this dark space in order for you to see this light that is shining. And there was no external light shining. I had to be in the dark room to recognize that I was the shining light. And so after that, I was just like, you know what? Now I'm determined. I'm on a mission. I am on a mission to spread positivity on purpose. Because when it was dark for me, I didn't have a lot of people spreading positivity. When it was dark for me, I was surrounded by a lot of dark people and negative people who enabled me to stay in a dark space and enabled me to stay negative, right? And so now, you know, that I recognize I can be the light that shines, all of a sudden I've decided, you know what, I'm going to be a beacon of positivity. I'm going to be the shining light for people, other people who are in dark spaces. I'm going to push the button and do what everybody else is scared to do. See, it's easy for people to push the button on social media and spread negative energy. It is easy for people to show up and be toxic. I refuse because my bar is set high. I refuse to entertain mediocre BS. Why? Because my bar is set high and I don't identify as such. So again, not only are we thinking about who we want around us, right? The kind of people that we want around us. Thank you, Mr. T. But we're going to think about what kind of work we want to produce, right? What kind of life do you want to live? Y'all like the negativity? Y'all like the toxic energy? That's the kind of life that you want? Not me. I want something fruitful. I want something that's going to grow because I'm growing. I'm evolving. I'm changing. I'm a work in progress. But emphasis on in progress. I'm not just a work. I'm not just here to take up space. I'm not a seat filler. I'm not here to meet your quota. I'm here because I am a work in progress. Right? And so the kind of life that I want to live is a life of progress. Progress, not decline. I want to keep going further. Right? And so you've got to start to really get specific with yourself. You got to go back to those 5 W's, right? Who, what, when, where, why. Who I want in my life. What I want to do. When am I going to do it? Where I'm going to get this done at? Why am I doing it? Right? For those of you who are confused about what your purpose is in life, y'all got to start asking yourself these questions. Who am I hanging out with? Who should I be hanging out with? What am I doing? What am I not doing? Right? Where am I supposed to be? Why am I sitting right here? When? Now. The time is now. Let me just say, the answer to the when is always right now. Not yesterday. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Not tomorrow. I can't do nothing about that. The answer to when is always right now. If you have to ask yourself when you should get something done, right now. That's what I tell my son about chores, right? And I'd be like, oh, go take care of the kitchen. And he'd be like, when? Right now. So you can't go take care of the kitchen yesterday. You ain't got no control over that. And I'm ready to cook, so you can't go take care of the kitchen tomorrow because I refuse to cook in a dirty kitchen, right? So the answer to your question of when is always right now, because that's what I'm focused on, the present, here and now, right? So again, you guys, you've got to get specific in creating your blueprint. Write it down, make it plain, keep it visible. Look at it every single day. And remind yourself of your worth, right? Remind yourself of your worth and your life, your blueprint for life, your life as you are defining it. Not what society is telling you that your life is, right? When you look in the mirror, I don't want you to see the reflection of what society thinks you are, who society thinks you are, right? When you look in that mirror, it is you. And I need you to see you for you, how you wish to see you. Screw all the external validation. I don't care if In the 5th grade, little Johnny told you that you're not beautiful. You are. Right? So you've got to look at this blueprint and you've got to see you for you. A beautiful work in progress. A fearfully and wonderfully made creation. And I'm sorry that little Johnny, didn't have a better upbringing and people who poured into him and loved him and that little Johnny took from you. I'm sorry, friend. But little Johnny's not here right now. Right? And now some of y'all got some big Johnnies running around in your life, breaking you down and tearing you down. But if you go back to what kind of people that you want in your life, if you go back and ask yourself that question, I bet you little Johnny ain't on that list. Because nobody wants him. Nobody wants the toxic Tyrone. We don't want any of that. We want positivity. Right? So remind yourself every single day that I want more, that I've set my bar, that this is where I am, and this is where I'm striving to get to. No looking back, right? So our second affirmation for today, I am in control of my destiny. I am in control of my destiny. You are the captain of your ship. Right? Remember that? I can't remember which movie it is, but he's like, I'm the captain now. When they came, pirates came and took over the ship, he was like, I'm the captain now. Listen, you are the captain of your ship. And yes, storms will come, waves will crash, but you steer the wheel. You're in control, you're in charge. So setting the bar high means that you're not letting circumstances or other people drag you down. I'm in charge. So if I say this is what I want to do with my life and someone else says that's impossible, you can't do that. That's crazy. Doesn't matter. I'm the captain of this ship and that's where I'm headed. That's where I'm going. So I'm not going to let other people's negativity or other people's perceptions of me become my reality. Because I've got a plan, right? I've prayed on it, so I know where I'm going. And in fact, the people who were there negative, serving you the toxic energy, they were never meant to be on the ship anyway. I never intended for them to go with me. Remember when Noah put the animals on the ark and he was very intentional about how many? How he loaded the ark up, right? That's how I am about my life. I am very intentional on who I allow to experience me. Welcome in, Coco. Hey, Fly Phenom. So again, I'm very intentional on who I allow to experience me. And I'm fully aware that not everyone is meant to go on this journey with me. More importantly, I do not desire to take everyone where I'm going. Right? Because what's for me, it's for me. And so I know that I am the captain of my ship, and I know that I've got the power to navigate this trip towards my dreams, right? And even though I understand that life might be unpredictable, I understand that my commitment, me being accountable to my standards sets the tone for where I'm going. It sets the tone for what I'm doing. Right? And so how do we make sure that we remain in control of our destiny, right? So our tip number 2 is to create boundaries, right? High standards require strong boundaries. You have to learn to say no to the things that don't align with your values and your goals. All right? No more of us entertaining anything and everything. Right? Understand that we're not being mean by saying no to someone. It's called self-respect. It is necessary for us to continue to thrive, to say no to them and yes to us. It is important for us to let our no's be no's, not to negotiate. We talked about this, right? I said no. I didn't say I want to negotiate with you. Right? And so we must, protect our energy and focus on what truly matters to us, what is important to us. Right? Practice assertiveness and begin to communicate your boundaries clearly on a regular basis. Remember, no to something doesn't serve you, right? Every no to something that doesn't serve you is a yes to something that does. I'm going to say that again. Every no to something that does not serve you opens up the door and becomes a yes to something that does. So just because a person asks doesn't mean you're obligated. A big thing that I always try to get my friends to understand is that, when you're home, let's say you're chilling. Y'all know weekends are my time, right? Evenings are my time. And so, you know how people will call you and they're like, oh, hey, what you doing? How you doing? And so I'm like, oh, nothing. Just sitting here relaxing on the couch watching, Fear of the Walking Dead, because that's what I do, y'all. And so somebody will call me and be like, what you doing? And I'm like, nothing, watching TV. And they go, oh, well, I was wondering, could you da-da-da-da-da? No, because right now I'm doing nothing and I'm watching TV. I didn't say that I was looking for something to do. Welcome in, right guy. I didn't say that I was seeking to be of service to someone else. I'm serving myself. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get people to understand that me doing nothing when you call on me is not an invitation for you to call on me. Does that make sense to y'all? Me doing nothing when you call on me, meaning me sitting here watching TV, minding my business, right? Minding my mental. When you call me to ask me to do something for you, it's not an open invitation for you to ask me to do something for you. And so I have to remind myself in those situations when people call on me, when I'm not seeking to serve, I have to remember to say no. And a lot of times what happens is we feel guilty because we led with we weren't doing anything. Yeah, listen, Fifi, honey, our ancestors will get us, won't they? But we have to remind ourselves that just because I said I'm doing nothing doesn't mean I'm obligated to do something for you. Perhaps this nothing is what I need, right? Perhaps me sitting and watching, the Fear of the Walking Dead is my self-care for the moment. I've been running. I deserve to sit down. I deserve to have a moment for me, right? So I had to learn how to create those boundaries and enforce those boundaries to let people know, listen, love you, but not going to be able to do it. Because I said I'm doing nothing but sitting here and watching the Fear of the Walking Dead. Because that's what I want to do, right? So it's important for us to understand and to create our boundaries. Exactly, solitude. So again, remember that every no to something that does not serve you is a yes to something that does. Our third affirmation for today. I attract abundance by being my authentic self. I attract abundance by being my authentic self. When you lower the bar, when you don't lower the bar, because we're setting the bar and we're never lowering it. So when you don't lower the bar, you begin to attract the right opportunities. You begin to attract the right people. you begin to attract the right experiences. We've got to understand that authenticity is a magnet, right? And so it is important for us to be unapologetically us, right? Unapologetically be you. Each and every one of us have a unique spark, and so it's important for us to show up daily, putting our best foot forward and being the unique spark that the world needs. We've got to embrace our quirks, our flaws, our passions, our strengths. We've even got to embrace our weaknesses, because hey, we can't do it all, right? Thank you, No Fraud. Thank you, Florida Boy. I appreciate y'all. So, again, be unapologetically you, knowing that there is no one else in the world like you, and that's your superpower, right? The fact that there will never be another me, you can copy. There will never be another me, right? That's why when we go out and we get these careers, right? We start these businesses, and people are saying, like, when I decided that I wanted to be a life coach, people are like, oh God, there's millions of life coaches out there, and they not me. I'm not knocking them. They're all amazing in their own right, but they're not me, right? So a lot of us cap our potential because there are multitudes of what it is that we're doing, right? But do you think that Walgreens and CVS give a damn that they sell the same things and they're across the street from each other? How many times have you driven down the street and see 2 gas stations, 3 gas stations? Hell, you get to some intersections and it's a gas station on each corner. They sell the same thing. Sometimes within pennies of the dollar. On the inside of the gas station, they sell the same thing. They all got Snickers. They all got Kit Kats. They all got a Pepsi. You could pick up a Sprite from all of them. And then what makes them unique is Walgreens got their brand. CVS got their brand. Speedway got their brand. But everything else in there is the same. But that doesn't stop those businesses from thriving. Right? Welcome in. And no, it is not spelled correctly, but I'm going to charge it to your head and not your heart. No, I'm just playing. But you were really close. So again, you guys, make sure that you are showing up unapologetically being you. And if you feel like that's something that you struggle with, tip number 3 is for you. In order to continue to cultivate this authenticity, right? We need to be consistent with our self-improvement. So tip number 3, consistent self-improvement. It's important to keep growing, right? Keep growing. There you go, friend. I helped you out. Keep growing. That means y'all need to read. We need y'all to pick up a book. I need y'all to learn something different. I need you to be willing to expand your horizons. Right? I need you guys to, first and foremost, get out of the box that somebody put you in. Because many of us are living in a space that is not ours. We are living in this space because Johnny put us in a box in the 5th grade and we've just made it really comfortable. So we need to get out of the box in order to think outside the box. We need to expand our horizons. We need to be open to new things, better things, right? Great morning to you. Great new day. High standards means that you're committed to becoming the best version of yourself, right? It means that you are investing in your personal and your professional growth continuously. Right? We're not going to go take one course and we done. And when I say take a course, I'm not saying that y'all got to go back to school. I'm saying that y'all need to get these online self-help courses. I'm saying that you need to listen to a podcast. You need to pick up some sort of self-help book. You need to find your motivation somewhere. Right? Welcome in, everyone. And so you got to take a course. You got to seek mentorship. Right? Start to move towards people who are operating in the spaces that you like. You need to create new circles of people, new communities that are already building something that you want, something that you desire, in the direction that you are looking to go in your life. And you need to challenge yourself regularly. We've got to get uncomfortable. We've been sitting in that box for far too long, so comfortable. And again, that box is not our house. And because that is not our house, we can never make that box our home. That is not for us. That is not where we are meant to be. We are not these dark spaces. So it is important for us to grow. Growing is a journey. And in order for us to get through this, we have to continue to grow through the things that we are going through. Rich Risings Glow, welcome in. And remember, growth is a journey, right? Growth is a journey. Thank you, dopamine. Growth is a journey, not a destination. You can't pinpoint growth on the map. You just got to enjoy the ride, right? And that leads me to our fourth affirmation. Come on, MK, grow through what you go through, honey. Our fourth affirmation: I am resilient and capable. Thank you. Come on, self-care. I am resilient and capable. I am resilient and capable. So at this stage in our life, we fully are aware that life is going to throw challenges our way. Life gon' life, whether we want it to or not, right? And so we know there's absolutely no doubt about that. But when we have high standards, we don't back down, right? We standing 10 toes down. I said this is what I'm doing. I said this is where I'm going, and you can't stop me. Devil, get behind me, because I got somewhere to be, right? And so when you have high standards, you don't back down for nobody, right? You rise, you fight, you overcome, you conquer, right? And so we have to remember that every single setback that occurs in our life is a setup for our comeback. So it's cool. I got knocked down. It's embarrassing. A lot of people saw it, right? Now there's a whole bunch of people who got stories to tell. Some people got receipts of it. And every single time I enter the room, they remind me, oh, that's the one that fell down. She's the one who got knocked down. Remember the video? Come on, dopamine. It's a lesson, not a failure. Right? So that little setback I had, you know, it was just a little bump in the road. You know what I'm saying? But lucky for me, I got a GPS system. And so as soon as I ran into the construction, God was like rerouting. Right? As soon as the devil threw up this little roadblock, the devil put a little accident in my path, or, you know, took the road out ahead, God was like, rerouting. She not finna stay here. We not finna sit in this space. Not in this neighborhood, right? We not gonna just leave her out here in this neighborhood because she don't even know where she at. And these people in this neighborhood ain't for her. Grand Rising space. Right? So we got to get her up out of that space because she just got out the box. We're not going to send her to the trap. What coach gonna do in the trap? Right? So God gonna tell me, you know what, rerouting, gotta get her out of here. Sometimes it'd be like, make a U-turn. Turn left at the first light. Right? Crimson Pearl, welcome in, beautiful. So again, understand and begin to embrace your failures as a learning opportunity and use them to fuel your success. Because listen, while you're on the road and you've got these roadblocks and you've got these bumps and, you know, all of these things that are here and meant to detour you and distract you, you've got to use this as your fuel, because you can't run out of gas, y'all. Right? We cannot run out of gas. Not in that neighborhood. Right? Not in that self-pity neighborhood on Misery Boulevard. Like, I can't stay here. Thank you guys for the gifts. I cannot stay here because this is not for me, right? Misery loves company, and honey, it looks like they got enough people over here. I gotta go. I need to turn left at the next light so I can get right back to where I need to be. And so our fourth tip of the day is to surround yourself with excellence. Surround yourself with excellence. Thank you, beautiful. Your environment matters. 2 stars. Thank you. Your environment matters. It is important for you to surround yourself with people who uplift you, people who inspire you, and people who challenge you to be better. All right? Those people who are comfortable with you being basic are not for you. Those people who aren't pushing you to go further and to be better, honey, them is not your friends. Them is your frenemies. Right? Those are the people who want you to stay in the darkness with them because they're too afraid to go to the light. Those are the people who are like, don't go to the light, Carol Ann. Shit, I'm out of here. The brighter, the better. I've got a place to go. You know what I'm saying? So you've got to be sure to let go of the people who don't support your journey. I've got places to go. I got people to see. So part of me being intentional about who I allow to experience me means I got to watch the company that I keep. You know, mama tried to tell us when we were younger that birds of a feather flock together. And I didn't see it. So when I was hanging around negative people and I was out there doing negative things, then things in my life were being negative. I was getting sucked into a toxic space. I was being drawn into spaces that weren't healthy for me and that genuinely weren't for me. And so as soon as I started picking those friends off one by one and removing myself from those circles and leaving certain social networks and leaving certain groups and, you know, also minding what I watched. When I quit watching certain things on TV, right? Quit being into all the gossipness and the cattiness and reality TV that's super scripted towards toxic energy, right? When I started being more mindful of who I was, I remembered whose I was, and it was beneath me to hang out with such people and to do such things, right? And so I began to let go of the people who didn't support my journey. I began to let go of the people whose actions didn't align with my values. High standards, remember? And so it became important for me to seek out mentors, right? People who had it going on and people who were successful and people who were happy. People who were positive, right? I needed to reevaluate my peers. I love them, but I had to get a new social network, y'all. I had to get some new friends, right? And then I had to make sure that my new peers and my friends, you know, embodied the same qualities that I admire and that I strive for, right? I needed people in my life that I could look up to. Because it's exhausting having people surrounding you that you look down on. Not as if you're judging them, but if I've got to keep looking down to see what you're doing, you about to make me miss my blessing. Right? And so I used to think that I had to pick everybody up. And I was that person that everybody used to run to for a quick pickup. Oh, coach, pick me up, pick me up. Listen, if I'm constantly looking down to see what you're doing, which is nothing, because every time I look down there, you ain't doing nothing. I ain't judging you. I'm just stating it for what it is. Some of us is in the same space that we done been in since 1992. Let it go. Right? I had to begin to get people in my life that I could look up to. So that way, as my blessings were coming, I would see them. Because if I'm so busy looking down, I'd have missed an opportunity. Now, what's for me is for me, so it's going to come back around again. But I sure wish I could have had this opportunity, in 97. I sure wish I wasn't in my 40s when I started being a life coach. Because, I would have been a beast back in the day. I've been coaching since birth, honey. I feel like from the moment I started having friends, everyone was always drawn to me for advice. That's why I knew everybody's business. Because everybody would come to me for advice. So I feel like I was born to be this. But I sure wish I could have did this before my 40s. Because I feel like I would be so much further on my journey. But I was too busy looking down, trying to help everybody up. But the moment that I began to hold my head up, the moment when I stayed focused on what's ahead and stopped paying attention to the things behind me, life for me truly, truly changed. I was happier. I was healthier. Oh, I got a better quality of relationship because your girl married now. 7 years, loving it. Right? My faith increased. The quality of my friends increased. So much so that the trash began to take itself out, y'all. I didn't even have to sever ties with people. Have an amazing day, dopamine. Keep being a positive influence on others. Your name alone precedes you when you enter the room. So you keep being a positive boost of energy for people. So Florida Boy says, what about the friends that can't handle the advice you have to give them? Oh, I don't give it to them. I don't give it to them. See, when I give advice, it's asked for. Welcome in, Mr. T. Well, welcome to the North Side, Mr. T. Right? So when I have a friend who, wants to vent about their situation, right? I tend to ask them, are you just venting? Like, basically I'm asking, are you just talking to hear yourself talk? Or did you want my opinion? Because if you say you want my opinion, then yeah, I'm going to say it. Just because I say it, it doesn't mean that you have to do what I'm advising. You don't have to like it. None of it. And see, if this person is a repeat person who wastes my time, then I just no longer give it. And for some people, it means you just no longer entertain their conversation. Prime example, the other day, y'all, had got a new phone number. And I had given my phone number to selective people because, again, highly intentional who gets to experience me. And after over a decade, like long over a decade, hell, damn near 20 years of having a phone number, I was like, I want a new phone number. So I go out and I get a new phone number. And I begin to go through my contacts and strategically pick who I'm going to text and say, hey, this is Shantae, this is my new number, right? And so I reached out to an old friend and I'm like, oh, I haven't talked to her in a minute. Yeah. The moment I talked to her, she's like, I apologize for not being a good friend. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Life gets the best of us sometimes. Like, it's cool. There are things in our friendship that I can be accountable for. I haven't been communicating much with you either, but hey, it is what it is. Let's focus on the now. And then she proceeds to dump on me. Dump every single thing that has happened in her life from the last time we talked until now. And it was so heavy and so dark and so toxic. And And I sat there and I kept trying to shine some positivity on it, right? And I'm being nice and I'm trying to say, hey, thank you for the follow, love. I'm trying to be nice and I'm trying to say, hey, keep your head up. And I'm sorry that you're going through that. And I'm definitely going to pray for you. But like, y'all, every one word, positive, inspirational, affirmative comment that I can make, one sentence, I would get another paragraph of toxic energy. And I had sat there and reminded myself, this is why we stopped talking in the beginning. I don't want to be dumped on. I don't want to feel guilty that my marriage is thriving. I don't want to feel guilty that my relationship with my son is doing good. I don't want to feel guilty that I'm happy, or that our household is thriving and that I have some money in the bank. I don't want to feel guilty for that just because every single thing seems to be going wrong for you. Right? And so I had to begin to remove myself, because this is one of those people who, no matter what positive energy you pour into them, Florida boy, all they gonna do is see the negative. Right, y'all? And this person doesn't even realize that they are misery. And they can't understand why no one wants their company. And as much as I love her, I had to remind myself, every single time I say something back, as inspirational and as positive as it is, every single time I say something back, it is an invitation for her to dump more on me. Good morning, love. Welcome in, and thank you for the follow. I had to understand that, my little ray of sunshine was a more invitation for her to rain on my parade. And unfortunately, I had to just stop replying. And she continued to talk to herself for another 15 minutes or so. And y'all, I didn't even feel bad about it. In the past, I would have felt guilty, and I would have had a conversation, and I would have called her, and, I'd have spent countless hours helping her get her life right. But I don't have the capacity to do that all the time now. I don't even do that with my clients, right? And so I had to realize that this is not how I'm best meant to serve, and I had to leave her there. And so I stopped responding. And so Florida boy, again, that's my example of, for the question that you asked. Sometimes you got to leave people where they're at. Some people thrive in toxic situations. Some of us thrive in dysfunction because that's all we know. Thank you for the follow, Johnny. Yeah. So we've got to understand that some people truly are happy in toxic mess. That's why we watch the toxic stuff on TV. That's why we sit in the toxic live streams, y'all. That's why we so nosy. And we want to know who done cheated on who, and who done did this and who done did that. Listen, I ain't for the tabloids. I ain't for the toxic streets. I don't do it. I don't want to entertain it. Sure, I'm human. Every now and again, I'm going to be like, did you hear that J-Lo and Ben might be getting a divorce again? That ain't none of my business. Why am I over here entertained by somebody else's, relationship trouble? That's not my business. So I really work hard to step back out of it before I really get too deep into it, right? So again, you want to make sure that, again, you set your standards higher. Begin to surround yourself with excellence. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So if you out here with negative vibes, you're going to attract some negative people. You got to be intentional about what you're doing, where you're going, who you're going there with, right? And so then our fifth affirmation, our fifth and final affirmation for today: I am proud of my achievements and I'm excited for my future. I am proud of my achievements and I'm excited for my future. It is important for us to celebrate a win, no matter how big, no matter how small. We have to celebrate our victories. Acknowledge your progress and be proud of how far you've come. Setting the bar high means that you're always striving, that you're always achieving, and that you're always moving forward. Gratitude for your journey keeps you motivated and focused on your goals. So again, stay the course. Stand on business, 10 toes down, right? How do we do that? Final tip of the day. Visualize and manifest. Visualize and manifest. See yourself living a high standards life. See, our whole life, society has tried to tell us that these high standards are unrealistic. They're not. It was just unrealistic for those low-level people to comprehend the level that we were on. So you have to see yourself living your high standards life. You have to visualize it every single day. You got to feel it. You got to believe it. And you got to take steps towards it. No dead faith, right? Faith without work is dead. So you've got to take steps towards it. You can't just talk about it. You got to be about it. We've got to begin to understand that manifestation is real. But if you're not careful, you can manifest negative energy too. You can invite negativity into your house. If you keep talking negative and you keep speaking negativity over yourself, you're just inviting more of it in. So you want to make sure that your mindset and your actions are aligning with what it is that you want. Create a vision board. Get yourself a journal, right? Start to speak your goals into existence. Welcome in, Ruffin. Right? Speak your goals into existence. We talk about speaking life over ourselves, right? Start to speak that into existence. Your thoughts shape your reality. So make sure that you keep your thoughts positive and that you keep your thoughts focused on where you are wanting to go, what you are wanting out of life. Because again, your thoughts shape your reality. So you got to keep them positive. Anomaly, welcome in. So there you have it, y'all. Set the bar and don't ever lower that shit. You are capable of greatness. You deserve the best. All right? So make sure you set the bar. Define your standards. Create your boundaries. Be consistent in your self-improvement. Keep learning, keep growing. Surround yourself with excellence. And visualize and manifest the life that you want. Welcome in, Miss Portia. So as we wrap up today's session, I invite you to please share any questions or reflections that you have from your experience in the live stream today. Thank you, love. Your thoughts are incredibly valuable to us. By sharing your insights and your overall experience, you enhance our sessions, ensuring that they meet the community's needs and offer valuable perspectives for everyone participating. Your feedback helps us to tailor our future sessions to be even more impactful and supportive on our journey. So again, I invite you to please take a moment to reflect on and share your thoughts about today. Again, we're always here to listen. We're here to grow together. Welcome in, Gator. What part of today's session had the biggest impact on you, if any, right? What part of today's session had the biggest impact on you? Was it a particular affirmation or an actionable tip, right? We've got to start to ask ourselves, why are we here? What did I just get in the last 45 minutes while sitting with Coach? Was it the chat that poured into me? Was it something that she said? Was it the love bomb behind her? What helped me, right? So make sure that, and not just in this space, you guys. Hey, Mika. Make sure that, when you are sitting in spaces, you start to ask yourself these kind of questions. What am I getting from this? What do I appreciate? What didn't I appreciate? What don't I like? So then that way you make sure that the spaces that you are sitting in align with your values. Like I said, here in this space, we are all about healing. We are all about growing through the things that we're going through. We're all about improving our journey to self-care. Right? And so, make sure that when you're seated in spaces, just like this one, you ask yourself these questions, and good morning, love. Hey, Shamika. Hey, Papa Smurf, welcome in. You got to begin to ask yourself these questions, you guys, so that way you make sure that the spaces and places that you're sitting in and the people that you're with, that they align with you as well. So that way we're not wasting time, because we know that time is the most valuable thing. Come on, all you need is love. Yes, amen. Good morning to you. And so you want to make sure that, you're not wasting your time, that you're spending your time wisely. We get so bent in life on saving money, but you can have the money. I want to save my time. I want to make sure that I'm not wasting my time, that I'm spending it wisely, right? So I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for being an active participant. Whether you tap the screen, whether you share the live, engaged in the chat, all of the gifts that you guys have shared, right? Thank you so much for your commitment to your personal growth. Remember, you are worthy of greatness, and that you have the power to create the life that you envision. You're the captain of the ship. Each and every one of your presence here to me is truly a gift. And I appreciate the gifts, your contributions during the live stream. Your support directly benefits the Self-Care Club, LLC, fostering positive change in our community. Your generosity fuels our mission, and it's why we're able to keep doing what we do each day. If anyone would like more information about the Self-Care Club, or if you want to book a personalized one-on-one coaching session, please visit theselfcareclub.org. Again, that's selfcareclub.org. And I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you again during our next live coaching session. We meet weekdays, so Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I invite each and every one of you to come back tomorrow for another session. And for those of you who entered, a little late, no worries. I want you to head over to YouTube, type in the @ symbol, and then Life Coach 614. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to hit the bell and turn on your notifications. Thank you, Nini. I appreciate you. Head over to YouTube, type in @ Life Coach 614, subscribe to our Room to Breathe channel, turn on the bell, right? Hit the notifications, and you guys are able to watch the replays over there, as well as tap into a lot of other free resources. And then, like I said, go over to selfcareclub.org and tap into those free resources as well. Someone asked about my shirt. It says "You Are Enough," and these shirts are also available on the website as well. There's a lot of affirmative apparel over there, so if you're looking for some motivational merchandise, whether it's your calendars, affirmation cards, t-shirts, hats, things like that, all of our apparel and merchandise is also on selfcareclub.org. So head over there, check it out. Like I said, you can also get the "You Are Enough" t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. I think these might also come in tank tops, and there's a huge variety of colors to choose from. But that's what I got for you guys today. Go have an amazing day on purpose, filled with purpose. Nene, thank you so much. Thank you. And I will see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m.